Good morning, everyone. Nicholas here, one of the space holders within the New Magi Dreaming community. I hope you're well. It's been a big week, not only for myself, but for many people that I know. And as part of the New Magi Dreaming membership, every Thursday or Friday, I will be offering some kind of integrative practice, whether it's a meditation, whether it's some kind of activation, but something to really support us as a community to really work with the energies in the space. So I just want to share with you something before I move into the theme. I've just lit this beautiful candle, and the fragrance is wood sage and sea salt, and I actually made this candle myself. And one of the medicines for me during challenging times is the allowance of creativity and the allowing of imagination to pour forth from the infinite realms or from the voidal space into this material plane. And it does bring me so much joy and aliveness to allow creativity to really flow through. And I think one of the blessings that we have as human beings, as spiritual beings having a human experience, is to really allow our creativity to flow forth and be expressed in this material plane, because literally it's infinite, and every single thing that you've seen or engaged with, or any of us have seen or engaged with in this realm, has come from the infinite voidal space as an idea, as a thought form, as a potential of manifestation. So the theme that I'm feeling most pertinent to explore today with you is courage. And first of all, we're in the month of Leo, which is all about self-leadership, and it's really about self-mastery as well, and it coincides with the birthing of the Ensourcefulness journey that's going to start on the Lionsgate portal on Monday for over 8-month process. And again, the courage to really claim our self-mastery, the courage to really say yes to who we truly are and how we're wishing to show up in the world. And the word courage really comes from it's a Latin word of cor, which means the passion of the heart. And in a sense, it's like with all the obstacles, with all the difficulties within life, and particularly when you're being called to move into new areas, things you've never done before, or you're being called forth, your being is calling forth from you to let go of things within in your life that are no longer serving. And maybe there's a sense of conflict or a fear of what will happen if I let go of this relationship, or if I let go of this business or this community or the things in my life. What's going to happen? And that is part of the humanness within us. There is it's a common fear of the unknown, and will something better actually happen? And that is one of the collective programming elements that we're really wanting to acknowledge in this space at this time, the sense that if I let go of something, that I'm not going to be supported, or something worse is going to happen, and perhaps it's just better to hold on to what I know, because perhaps the fear of letting go is going to welcome something undesirable into life. And that is all connected into the collective expectation that the future holds some kind of doom or gloom. And so courage is so essential, because ultimately what we're saying when we're aligning to the energy of courage, we're backing, not only backing ourselves, we are saying yes to a future that is more aligned to who we truly are, to a vision or to a version of life that is better, has more goodness, more wellness, is really honoring your own gifts, talents, and abilities, and your place in the world. And of course, it's an infinite spiral. I'm sure you've gone through many different experiences of this, just as I have in my own life as well. Many times of letting go, many times of moving back into the voidal space, many times facing the internal conflict of what am I going to choose? Because often the internal aspects of us aren't always in 100% agreement. And most of the time when we're moving through a period of chaos in our life, it's more so in coming into alignment with all the different elements within ourselves, because some aspects do feel powerless or feel afraid or feel hopeless or feel attached, or there's the fear of loss. And so often it's about really, it's calling in the adult elements within you, and also the aspects within your own being that can hold all of you through whatever process that life is beckoning or calling forth through you. And of course, life is always changing and life is never stagnant. And therefore, as we say yes to our own evolution, which is happening anyway, so even people that resist change, or even people that don't want their life to change, they are changing whether they are like it or not. And so we can either really go with the change, really breathe with it, really work with it, really be present with what is here, and just be really honest, or we can move into denial or self-deception, or rejecting what life is actually bringing forth into our life. And so how do we know this? Well, the reflection in our life is always sharing what is truthfully there to be seen. So how are you showing up in your life? Are you bringing all of yourself into life? Or do you feel that you're compromising yourself on some level? Or maybe there's aspects of you that are invisible, that are not, you're not willing to really show the world fully at this time. You know, perhaps there's a fear that who I am, or what I stand for, or let's say the fullness of my being is going to be misunderstood, or doesn't really fit into this world, or there is some kind of fear of persecution, or a repercussion on some level that is going to happen to me. And all of these things will create the self-diminishment or the invisibility, because there are protection mechanisms of choosing safety and security in a hostile world, particularly when we don't trust either ourselves, trust others, trust life. And the compromise is, I'll just play it safe, or just put out into the world what I think others are going to find palatable, in order to just be able to live and survive. But of course, the consequence of that is that you're never really fully satisfied. You're never going to really feel fully engaged with life. It's kind of like having a fire and then putting wet wood on the fire. It's like the fire's there, but it's not flourishing. It's not just effortlessly burning. There's kind of this weight or this burden or this heaviness that is over, and there's like this overlay that is currently present with what's going on. And so courage is really the energy to be able to break free from this. And of course, it's always an inside out job, because when we are living from a place of 100% personal responsibility, then the ownership is on us, and we've got to then go, I'm allowing this to happen. I'm allowing myself to show up in this way. And often there's, just really wanting to acknowledge the deep sadness that does exist within this, because there's a compromise and there's a dishonoring of who I am and how I'm showing up in the world. And at our soul level and at our spirit level, the sadness is that other people and the world don't really get to see who we truly are. And so the courage that is so prevalent at this time within the theme of self-mastery is, what is it that I need to call forth within myself in order to live an even more aligned and more authentic expression of who I am, in order to be able to move forward and to be able to share with the world who it is and what it is that I am. And this has been certainly a very prevalent theme within my own life. So I can really share this with you from a place of 100% authenticity, because I know how it feels and I know the difficulties. And I also understand that this isn't something that we're necessarily consciously thinking. It's happening at that subconscious level. And so again, we've got to fall in love with the process, and it requires a daily commitment to engaging with the aspects of the inner world that are choosing to hide, that are choosing to play it safe, that are choosing security and safety, rather than being boldly willing to step forward into the unknown. So I'm just going to take a moment for us just to really sit with that, and I'm going to invite us into a process very shortly. but I just want to allow that to simmer for you. So just take a moment just to kind of acknowledge where in my own life is courage calling forth from within me. You know, is it within a particular relationship? Is it within your business or your career? How authentic is your self-expression? Are you hiding how you show up in the world, how you express yourself? Is your feminine or your masculine elements hiding? Is one aspect really dominating in the space? Can you really offer more spaciousness and encouragement for an aspect of your being to come forward that has been denied access or visibility at this time? So I'm just going to give you a moment just to really be with that before we move into a process. Just enjoying my hot, beautiful chai with a bit of macadamia milk and a bit of honey as I bask in the warm, glowing embers of this beautiful candle. And of course, we are fully supported by the beautiful interdimensional visionary art forms that are behind me as well as some of my own artwork in the top left-hand side of the screen. So reflection and contemplation is really important. You need to take time out in your day. If you are committing into the new Magi Dreaming community, I promise you that you will go through enormous growth, but it is your responsibility to commit, and it is also your responsibility to engage in this group. So please show up, please share. If you have questions, please write them down. And that's all part of courage as well, because I know that sometimes we can have judgments about ourselves or a fear of how am I going to be received, or if I ask this question, is this going to, are others going to look down on me or see me as less evolved or see me as being silly or stupid or less intelligent? So all of these things, none of these are inherently true about anyone, and it's just about meeting life as it is. Whatever is present, just meet it as it is. No judgments. You don't need to be anything or anywhere, or all of these things are all made up stories that literally have nothing to do with who you truly are. And so we just want to encourage everyone just to be, that's what authenticity really is I'm showing up in this moment truthfully, how I am in this moment with the energy that's here. Not needing to prove anything to anyone, but I'm also not hiding anything or avoiding anything or wishing something to be different. So that is the invitation that this space and this container is present with, inviting forth within you, inviting forth within me, inviting forth in every single person here. So in a moment, we're going to begin. Okay, so I'm just going to invite you just to close your eyes and let's really bring our awareness into our heart, because that is the space within our being where courage comes forth. We're calling forth from within us, because all energies and frequencies ultimately are already within, and sometimes we just need to activate them. And we're calling forth courage. And so we call forth the element of fire, because fire is a transmutational element. It burns, it destroys the old, and the ashes of the old become the fertilizer for the new. And it does require courage, because letting go can sometimes be painful and difficult. Acknowledging the trepidation, acknowledging that letting go of the attachments to what has been. And so we're just calling forth the courage within our own being, and we're just going to call in the energetics to really support us within this space, within this container, in this moment. And of course, at the quantum field, anyone that is watching this video across time, space and dimensions receives all the full benefit, the full frequency, activations. And so within the sacred fire of our heart, I just want you to take a moment to really acknowledge, what is it that you are calling forth courage to support you in your life right now? And so the words that you can use is, I now invoke and call forth courage within my life into whatever it is. Where are you being called forth to move beyond your comfort zone? And take a moment just to really see it for what it is. No sugarcoating, no hiding, no bullshitting yourself. Just being really real right now. And so once we've realized, all transformation always starts with the realization, the awareness of, this is what's going on in my life. And by invoking a new energy, you are now in the transgression, you are in the process of moving realities. And so now the next part is the decision. What are you deciding? What are you committing to? What is it within yourself? Is there an aspect of yourself that you're calling forth? Perhaps it's to really call forth the masculine within you, to hold you to move forward in this new part in your life. Or is it about having a difficult conversation with a person, just to let them know that the unconscious agreements or the interplay between you and them is no longer serving you and or them, and it's time just to really own up to it. Or are there changes that you need to make in your work? Have you been dishonoring yourself? Have you been giving yourself away? Whether it's to your business partner, whether it's to your boss, whether it's to even yourself in your own business. Maybe you haven't been giving yourself enough self-care time. So what adjustments do you need to make in order to call forth courage, to allow for a new harmonic to resonate through your being at this time? And so really claim it. It can't be a half-hearted thing. It's like you've really got to decide it. I choose, and I'm willing to follow through in my commitments moving forward, in the choices that I'm making moving forward, to hold myself in that commitment. And so maybe possibly call in, whether it's a spirit animal, something to support you. Maybe it's a sacred object. There's something within your own consciousness that you can call forth to assist you with this, and to really feel that energy, feel the decision, feel the commitment. Allow the courage to ripple through your being right now. And so the invitation to really follow through with this is, I would love for you to share in the group, what are you committing to? What new choice or decision are you saying yes to? So to really be seen when you write something, or if you share a video into the group, you are now being held accountable. You are now stating to life, this is what I'm saying yes to. Okay, and if you're noticing that there's any resistance, then that just means that there are aspects within you that are afraid, or there's some inner transformation that you need to make in order to bring all parts of you on board. Again, it's your responsibility to acknowledge that. And let's take a few deep breaths together. Now, just to let you know, the New Magi Dreaming community is one portal of receiving support, and there will be a lot of support in this space. However, if you are looking for a much higher level of self-mastery and a high level of commitment you are willing to make within yourself, then please join us for the Ensourcefulness journey, which is kicking off next week. Registrations will be open for the month of August. So if you would like to have a conversation with either Michelle, Daniela, or myself, reach out to us, because I promise you that the potency of this container will propel you into realities that you can't even imagine right now. And the energetic templates that we all hold, and we will be holding not only you but ourselves, that by next April, the level of self-mastery that we will be resonating with and holding as an individual, but as a group, we will probably be unrecognizable. So strongly recommend that you join us in this space. It will be extraordinary, exceptional, miraculously marvelous. And this is the time to really commit to ourselves, to commit to the realities that we're saying yes to, and to stop tiptoeing around the edges. And of course, we need support. All of us need support. And both Michelle, Daniela, and myself, we know that by committing to this space and this container, that we will, the jewels and the goodness and the wellness and the expansion that we will receive will be infinite as well. So we look forward to journeying with you. I look forward to seeing your comments in the group, sending you much love and blessings and goodwill, and looking forward to the Lionsgate activation that will be happening on the 8th of the 8th. So much love to you all. Blessings.